the vanquished fighter in the ring after a fight, talking about the guy who just beat him fighting somebody else. Like, why is it their business? Because they're boxing fans too, and everyone in the boxing world. We just came out of the Mayweather-Pacquiao era, where the obvious fight, the two best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, two of the best fighters ever, like top 10 pound-for-pound types of all time, are in the same division in their primes, and the fight doesn't happen till way past the expiration date. And then it was a dud. And the boxing world collectively, including Amir Khan and Virgil Hunter and everybody, and fans in Mexico and all, are saying, no, we're not doing that again. They're responding to Triple G saying, because Canelo, in a sense, Golden Boy is taking a page out of the Mayweather book and saying, let's win the boxing game, not necessarily just in the ring. Let's juice this for as much money as possible. Let the demand, let there be pent-up demand that gets released eventually. And I think the reaction to the boxing world, as Triple G said, you're an idol in Mexico because of boxing, not because you're a businessman. That kind of stuff affects a guy like Canelo because he's prideful and he's not scared. He'll fight anybody. And I think there's a sense that we're not going to wait 5 years for this fight. That last era is over, and this is the fight everyone wants right now. And at this point, it's going to be interesting to see how this fight doesn't happen by the end of this year. It seems like at this point, the timetable's a little bit sped up.
There's a big thing today. We talked to Floyd, and he said that the Conor McGregor rumor, I don't know if you heard it, could be more than just a rumor, hinting that maybe that fight could be a possibility. Max, how big is that fight?
Floyd is a marketing genius, and some of it is his ability to zig when everyone expects him to zag. You never know what Floyd's going to say. That's part of what makes him interesting. But in this case, I think Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather are using each other's names to promote themselves in the absence of a fight. It's smart. I don't see that fight happening. If it happened in a boxing ring, Floyd would kill him. If it happened in an octagon, Conor McGregor would kill him. I mean, if LeBron James tries to play football better than Cam Newton, he's not going to be able to do it, and vice versa in basketball. It's two different sports.
Mr. Kellerman, sticking to the topic, a lot of people expected this outcome, but was it impressive or was it what you expected? And if so, is Canelo's power good enough that if he were to fight Golovkin at the full 160, is it good enough to hurt Golovkin from what you saw?
I mean, yeah, you can't. Look, Canelo is, as I mentioned, sometimes people get fooled by the optics. Canelo reminds me a lot of James Toney. He doesn't have the shoulder roll and all that stuff, but he's basically a boxer puncher with good but not great power, but good solid power, physically strong, who's most comfortable when a guy comes to him because he has faster hands than feet. So cutting off the ring was not James Toney's specialty. He could do it if you made him do it, but that's not what he wanted to do. Same thing with Canelo. But when you come to him and he can stand there and counter, that's when he's at his most effective. Canelo's very slick with his upper body movement. His skills improve in every fight, and he has good, crisp power. And he's fought really good opposition. I mean, Khan is smaller, but Erislandy Lara and Austin Trout, you can say, well, yeah, he lost those fights. I don't know. I thought he won them both very close. I don't see a Floyd Mayweather outcome changing based on that performance. Khan was able to give him problems that through half the fight to demonstrate Floyd is still, just because you're fast doesn't make you Floyd Mayweather. But yeah, and by the way, even if you think a guy is favored, people like Hagler to beat Hearns, and in fact, Hagler knocked Hearns out in 3 rounds. Would anyone complain if we got another Hagler-Hearns?
Yeah. Hell no.
So I mean, I think Triple G is going to win, you might say. And then what if he winds up winning and it's a knockout within 3 rounds? But what about those 3 rounds? Tony Zale and Rocky Graziano, 5 rounds, 3 fights. They weren't extended fights, but each one was amazing, You have 2, and speaking of James Toney, remember the Jirov fight?
Yeah.
Jirov, an aggressive Olympian, undefeated body puncher. I'm not saying he's Triple G, but he has that aggressive style, body punching style. And James Toney, the counter puncher that I just mentioned, and they went one guy just wants you to come to him, James Toney. The other guy just wants to go to you, Jirov. And they made one of the great cruiserweight fights ever, right? So regardless of who you think's going to win, the action in the ring in a Triple G Canelo fight is virtually guaranteed based on their styles.
As you're watching